Hi there, today I just wanted to really quickly go over some of the strategies we used on this recent competition map. Got pretty interesting at the end. This first setup we first stole from PRG, though I suspect it's similar to what Ari did to get a pretty good time early on. But PRG's video is what first got us interested in running this map, and he uses strategies similar to this setup. And the idea is you're going to start down here connected to the ultra capacitor as far away as possible while still connecting. And you're going to want to let a few seconds pass so your rift lab can materialize. And then fly them away. And you'll see I get 100 energy before I disconnect from the ultra cap. So it basically gives my rift lab a bunch of free energy to start with so we can build everything up here without delay. Meanwhile, I'm using this energy crate to power a porter, and this porter's going to fly a couple of energy crates over to help me out. So I'm going to have a lot of energy to work with here. The only threat is going to be this emitter on the low ground. The one on the top's not going to matter. He's too far away to do anything. So I just have to keep an eye on this guy, and one cannon with an urn is thankfully enough to protect against him. I'm not playing this out optimally. Ideally, I would want to fly the rift lab around, but this is just to give a general idea of the strategy. Because this way you can pretty much just unpause and put it on 4x, I believe. Oh, I didn't even give the cannon an urn. Doesn't matter. Well, I guess it does matter. You get the idea, though. That was the original strategy if you don't mess it up like I just did. I was trying to be lazy and it backfired. So, after that, we did a little experimenting and we found that you could save some time by starting over on the right side. You're connecting from the right side instead, and you're saving time because you can start this nullifier on the right sooner. With the old strategy, you may have noticed the reason I failed is because the right side nullifier wasn't built yet. So with this strategy, whoops, forgot to advance some time. As usual, you want to advance some time so you can get some packets out to the tower before you fly away. That's the other difference, is this time I'm starting a tower length away instead of connecting directly to the ultra capacitor. Okay, I'm going to fly out, go over the Crazonium. Alright, and as I fly over the wall, you'll see I connect right away to this tower on the right. That means I have one less tower to build before I can start powering the right side nullifier, which is already a 2.5 second gain, roughly. The rest of the run pretty much played out the same. You just fly over the stuff and make sure it all powers. And of course you want the porter to drop its second box at some point so you change its target. Okay, after that, this next one I don't think was very different. Yeah, for this one you'll see I have this tower here on the south, and this is where things start getting a little interesting at least. And the idea with that tower, see, pass a little bit, build my tower. Okay, I got my ultra cap energy, and the idea here is I'm going to build this tower. And now I'm going to send some packets to this nullifier, so I'm pre-building him. Again, the idea is to get this nullifier seeded a little bit earlier, because he's the limiting factor in all these early runs. And at this point, I still have to build the other tower, but the important thing is I got him seeded early. And then again, from there it plays out the same. Just finish it out, make sure you don't drop any packets, etc. Next iteration. This one, oh yeah, all I did on this one was add a second tower. Not much more to see here. It lets me stay connected for a little bit longer. So yeah, it just helps out that way. Lets me get a few more packets to him early. Let's see. Alright, here's where things really start getting interesting. This is when I realized I could connect directly off the ultra capacitor from the energy box. So the energy box is going to build these two towers on the south, and what that allows me to do is move my rift lab further left and connect them to a better tower here. I'm connecting to a much more ideal tower compared to the one over here I was connecting to before. And also, since I can start this tower early with the energy box, it means that the rift lab can fly sooner than he otherwise would. forget what the exact timing on this one was. Actually, let me just reload it because I have it on the save file. So fly at 1.2. So yeah, let's just give that a test. Though I suppose I should delete all these extra towers. Alright, so fly around 1.2. There we go. And I got my 100 energy off the ultra capacitor. And now, as usual, I'm going to have these extra towers over here. Now, if I was being careful, I would be micromanaging and I would turn them back a few frames when necessary to make sure none of the packets drop. Because when this connection disappears, you see I just lost a packet. It's completely gone and wasted, and this tower has to wait to request another one now. So that's definitely something you want to avoid. But again, right now I'm not really being optimal because I'm not doing a run. I'm just kind of demonstrating how the run goes. And then you would cross over here and continue like normal with a few extra packets in him. And really most of my other runs were just iterations on that. These were all just different tests of where I could fly from to get the best timing. And finally I found that this seems to be a pretty good spot, so it's what I went with. And I also switched to connecting off the left side ultra capacitor instead of the right side. It lets you connect a little bit sooner. I don't know why I was connecting to the right side. It takes longer to build. This way you get off the ground a lot sooner. So yeah, this is the one I'm going to be going with. I'm going to try to do a somewhat serious run here and hopefully match my competition time. So I want to wait until 0.7 to fly. Fly up here. There we go. Okay, I got my energy. Let's see. I do want to make sure to switch to this guy because I know I forgot to do that earlier. And if I'm not mistaken, I shouldn't have to micromanage the lab here. You should be able to do it perfectly without dropping packets. Yeah, there's all 5 of them out. Okay, so he's not dropping a packet here. Okay, now here comes the interesting bit I haven't mentioned yet. When you're hovering over this Crazonium wall, there is a brief window in which you can connect to both sides, and that's what I'm going to take advantage of here. It's not only does it let you continue seeding this nullifier off the towers you already built, you see effectively I'm already dispatching packets to both of these nullifiers at 12.3. Not only that, but it also means you can get power off these southern towers when you would have otherwise disconnected, and energy becomes quite tight in this build, so you want every last bit of energy you can get. So at this point you just want to work out your timing, because you see if you're not careful you're going to disconnect there. And I suppose I forgot to drop a save, so let's just do this part again. Trying to work out my timing here so I know how much wiggle room I have. Okay. So I should have one more frame. Okay, so this is the fun part. Basically, I'm just going to be hopping back and forth between 2 locations and advancing 10 frames at a time. I want to be really careful to pick this exact location in the south, because if I pick a different spot, he's going to slowly get off course, and that's going to make him not maintain connection. Or at the very least, it's going to give me less frames for wiggle room. I'll eventually get to the point where I only have 3 frames to fly back and forth, or even less. So that's definitely something I prefer to avoid. I like having a nice 10 frame window. The other thing to mention is when I'm hovering over this Crazonium wall, I can't just connect to anything to the north. You'll see if I put a tower here, it doesn't connect. The Rift Lab can only see in a cone in front of him. So basically in a cone in this direction, in this direction. So this whole cone here he can see. So if I build a tower anywhere in that cone, he can see it. But if I try to build off to the side, his view's blocked, presumably by the other Crazonium walls. That's just a weird quirk of using this quote-unquote strategy. And what it means is that I could have a nullifier right here, but if I try to build a nullifier here, where you would normally want to build it, it won't be able to connect. So I have to be careful about where I place it, which means I have to place the cannon here, because I can't just place them in front of it like I normally would. So it's a bit limiting in that regard. And now I just need to do this tedious bit here. Yeah, sorry, there's not really much to say about this part. It's just a really tedious back and forth. Do have to start doing some stuff here, though. I want to make sure I redirect my porter. Actually, real quick, I'm just going to drop a quick save and make sure I got energy. Okay, yeah, I have enough energy to do another porter load. The other thing I need to watch is this cannon. I only want to send him 8 energy packets, because if I send him too many, then I'm not going to have enough to build these nullifiers without stalling on energy. Okay, I'm going to drop a save here. The reason I'm dropping a save here is because this is when I start dealing with the really fun part, which is the cannon targeting. I messed up my timing on this because I got distracted. So this cannon here, every now and then, he likes to randomly shoot down this cliff where he's not even supposed to be able to see. For some reason, he shoots down there anyway sometimes. And when he does, it usually gets him distracted just long enough for the creeper to flow over the cliff on top of him. And once it's on top of him, he's pretty much useless because he's not shooting at any creeper, he's just shooting at a tiny thin layer, and then your nullifier gets overrun in no time. So you don't want him shooting down that cliff. Unfortunately, I don't really know why he does it, so all I can really do is save and load until he doesn't do it. So that's why I'm dropping a save here, just in case. Oh, I thought I enabled that. What's going on? Oops. Well, I disconnected early, so I messed up anyway. Okay, now that that's dead, I don't have to carefully hover anymore. I can just fly up here and disconnect from the bottom. There is one thing you want to watch out for is you're going to connect to this tower briefly, and if you're not careful, you're going to lose a packet. So you don't want to disconnect while there's a packet on the line. I guess in this case I have the energy crate supplying them, so I don't have to worry about that. Okay, now I'm going to disable that. Hopefully my cannon hasn't gotten distracted enough to let the nullifier die. That's the main thing I'm concerned about at this point. I might need to give him, yeah, I'm going to give him, it's too late now though, I should have given him another ammo packet. Well, I guess I will find out. Oh, so close. Oh, just a couple frames off. Okay, you take one more ammo packet. Oh, see, there he goes. He just shot at the bottom. That's exactly what you want to avoid. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and load it. Can't remember if I saved it after I gave him the extra ammo packet. Looks like I did not. Yeah, definitely did not. Okay, now I did. Oh, there he goes again. Oh, that is not good. He's gonna keep trying to do that. He may be okay this time. Although I sent too much energy to the other nullifiers, so I think it doesn't matter. I'm gonna mess up anyway. Well, it was a couple frames slow, but it still came out to 51.9. So yeah, it could be slightly faster, but that at least demonstrates the strategy for the most part. And I came out to the same decimal as in my best time. So yeah, thanks for watching. It was an interesting map, and have a good day.